While I'm sitting here today, I wanted to pull cards, and I pulled cards real quick read. It's a shorter dynamic than I usually do on the G7 summit coming up. So what I got going into it, it's about, I just dropped a card. There it is. It's about the heavy-handed truth. Okay, standing for truth and putting it out there when it comes to what's been hidden. And we look and see what's been hidden is not liking the harvest. So wanting to get more clarity on that from the truth and waking up. So it's not going to be, this in the dark drama. They're waking up to exactly what's taking place and going to confront it in an honest manner when it comes to the G7 summit. So the energy coming into it now from the past, what we're bringing in is the actions that they're taking place. What is the action that they're actually going to do? Controlling the action with things that they're juggling when it comes to the harvest, etc. The truth about the actions and the struggle that they're having with things now. So what will be going on that day? Looking at things that are not moving forward, that are being overturned, looking at the evidence at hand, what they have, what they don't have, concretely, and the promises being made. Promises made, promises kept, or is it, a bunch of hot air? The challenge is ending, some endings when it comes to things that were being built and the timing of all of this. So the clock is ticking. Potential outcome. It's about the families. It's about the monetary thing. It's about the aid for everyone. And looking at this, wanting the best, wanting to come to the best aid, the best outcome for families for the long term. And the outside influence is what is being offered up that would bring a victory. And hold on, I dropped the other card. What would be a victory with the arguments being made, okay? So just what is it they're willing to do to get this victory? So we have waking up to the difficulty, the struggle with the promises being made, the timing of it for the long term, and the arguments that are taking place there. The hidden thing, they don't like the harvest, what's come, and what's being proffered. They're juggling with the evidence in hand, what they have, what they know, what's being built, the challenge of what's being built. And again, wanting the best aspect for humanity with a victory for that. And we have above it, they're coming in no nonsense. They want to know exactly what are the actions, what's being overturned, what needs to end, and what's being offered to humanity and the families. Okay. So all of that they're going to be looking at, especially the outside influence of what's being offered that can come to a victory when they end the arguments. Okay, their talk. Now they know at the end they're not going to put out a statement because of guess who? He who would be king, the deflated dictator and thief that will be attending the summit. Because they know he's not going to be in agreement with anything they say. He wants to come and throw his weight around, yada, yada. Okay? So we look at this, break it down. They're coming in no nonsense when it comes to the benefit of the families, etc., their communities for the long term, and waking up to what they need to do. The center of it, they got the information, evidence about what's being overturned when it came to the promises. Promises made, promises not kept. Juggling what's being built, struggling with some of the endings that have had to take place, and the actions and the timing of those with what's being juggled. They don't like the harvest. They've got the evidence of that. The action they have to take that they're struggling with, and waking up to what's been overturned. And they want the truth when it comes to the promises being made. So what's being built, they want to make it better. Of course, they want to have the highest. And the timing of these endings that they have to do, overturning some of the things for the long term, and the promises that they can make to the people. Okay? When it comes to this G7 summit. So I'll go ahead and do the clarification. I was debating on whether I'm going to do it or not, or just leave it there, but I think I will go ahead and just pull the clarification and see what it says. Put these cards in here, and then give a good ruffle shuffle, and let's look and see what it says, the clarifying read. With what's going on. Now we know that Trumpenstein's going up there in absolute, utter dejected deflation. Although he'll probably try to spin it and say, you know, those photos of the No Kings Parade, those are all fake. They're all fake by the Democrats. I actually had 250,000. They were cheering me. Okay. He'll probably do his usual 180 degrees away from the truth into Fantasyville, and expecting that they will believe any of it. But they know the truth of what's taking place. So let's see, at the center of it, we have this not liking what's coming. Unhappy with some of the things being offered up. Things are up in the air. When it comes to, the economy, etc., they want to get to the concrete things that are going to take place, what can take place. So coming in again, looking at this, perhaps not liking some of the options with things up, and wanting to get to some conclusion as to what they can count on. So this is a process of moving this forward for things up in the air, discussing all of this, okay, to coming to some reality when it comes to leadership. Now this leadership, they want actual leadership, the concrete of what they can expect, and a true leadership. They want to go forward to true leadership. And so we have, are we going to make it happen, or is it going to be smoke and mirrors, okay, when it's going forward? But let's see where it's going. There's going to be struggles, some arguments, some, stress there as they try to iron out things. Some wanting to walk away. Now we know Trump walks away from true leadership, okay? And there may be some of them struggling and want to walk away from Trump. We know Trump doesn't really want to be there. And we have the burden that's taking place with it all. And some of the manipulations, some of the drama. So we have this strong, coming in with a strong dynamic for truth, and balance with a lot of concerns. The new cup, see what they can fill it with, what we can do, and the choices being made in life. Okay. Some things they want to come to a permanent end. They don't want to talk. They don't want to listen. This could also be Trump shutting down, because here we have the White House. He's shutting things down when it comes to a new action, when it comes to justice, and what he's attempting to hold on to, figuring out the next action, and new information coming out, which for him is basically a tower moment with what's being offered. So he'll come in with his spin and his lies, but there will be judgment coming out. And they will continue to move forward and bring to an end things that need to be brought to an end. So that's what I get from the G7 summit. They're coming in, and basically, you know, Trump is not going to hear what they say. He's going to come in with his nonsense and drama, and they just don't even want to hear it. They're not going to buy into any of his brouhaha and trying to throw his weight around and, you know, the nonsense that he does. They know he's a failed leader. He's not a leader at all, because what he does is not leadership. It's trying to preserve his own ego, but has no concern for the population of this country, nor the population of the world. It's about what he can do to try to make himself look big and look grand and look powerful, and that's not what the G7 summit is about. And so he will be like a fish out of water there, and they just are not wanting to deal with his crap, basically. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see if the cards are right or wrong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online.